Welcome, beautiful souls. Today I want to talk through 5 things that your divine masculine wants to see from you. So welcome, I'm Kathleen from Awakening Meraki. Before I get into these 5 things, I want to get clear on something. Who am I actually really referring to when I refer to the divine masculine? I'm talking about your higher masculine, not the ego structure of the physical form. I'm talking about the soul. I'm talking about this beautiful masculine that is, you feel the energetic presence within you all of the time. That higher masculine is reflected through that body, but he's actually with you all the time. So let's get into these 5 things. Trust, this is number 1, trust and have faith in the process. When I was very first awakened on this journey, I remember putting into my phone as a wallpaper, screensaver, trust the process. And I knew at the time it was very profound because you just know you're kind of being led instinctively. It's kind of weird. But having trust and faith is key because you're going through a process. This is not happening to disrupt you, to destroy you. Your physical masculine is not, has not ghosted you and blocked you to upset you. It's literally the energy that's created that division, that's created that physical separation in this physical world. It's not because they don't love you or they didn't feel this connection. It's just you are on a spiritual connection. That's what you've got. You've got a spiritual connection, and it's so much deeper and it's so much more beautiful and ugly, but also stunning, all wrapped up into the same journey. So it's so important to trust and have faith in the process. And I really want to get this across because I definitely did not at the beginning. I had moments of it and I just knew that I needed to just trust this. But then my ego, my fear-based energy really screaming so incredibly loud. My lack, my scarcity, my low self-worth was just screaming much higher than what I could, that I could tune into my intuition. But I knew deep down that I had to trust and have faith, even though the ego was just going off the charts. So I use the word faith, okay, not hope, faith. Faith is very anchored in, it's very centered, it's like rooted in the ground. You've got to have unwavering faith. And yes, that's going to get tested many, many times along this path. But I want to just reassure you that you are being pulled into a place of alignment. And you don't even realize that how you've been living is out of alignment until you're in alignment. And then you're like, bloody hell, I was so out of alignment. So that's number 1. Number 2, release what no longer serves you. This is really important. We cling on for dear life to relationships, to friendships, to jobs, etc., homes, cars, anything material, right? If those things, if they are uncomfortable for you to be in, your soul is saying, hey, sorry, but we need to expand beyond this. The soul is not going to get the level of growth and expansion in this job, in this relationship anymore. And I know, or the friendship, and I know that's really challenging, especially for those that are in a relationship and you've been quite happily married until this happens. And you're like, but hang on a minute, I was actually doing okay. But this is about the soul now, and the soul is wanting growth and expansion. Now, if you feel in that relationship you're still getting that, then, by all means do what you feel resonates for you. But if it's becoming uncomfortable to be there and in that dynamic, then you need to come in and tune into the soul, and the soul has got the answers for you. And I know it's very challenging and it's hard to work through that. I've been through that journey myself. I mean, my circumstances were very different, but it is important that you listen to your soul. I should have been listening to my soul years and years and years ago. And I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't. I just knew. But anyway, it was my fear-based energy that was keeping me in a dynamic that was very, very unhealthy for my family. And the thing is in what's going on here is this: everything that plays out is happening for the highest good of all, including the partner. You know, it is definitely by far, even though it's been a process, and it's certainly not an easy process to leave a very long-term relationship. It's very hard on the entire family, but it is for the highest good. And so you just need to tune in to your soul and what messages you're receiving there. But again, it could be a job, it could be a house, it could be a place where you're living, it could be any of those things. If you're getting that like repelling kind of, I'm really struggling to be here, it's your soul screaming at you. I had the same in my job and the house and everywhere, everything. That's how out of alignment I was. So you are being taken on a process, and that means letting go of some of these 3D attachments, because it's only the fear that's clinging on to these things. And believe me, when you're coming through this other side, you'll be so grateful. It's just you got to go through the uncomfortable. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Number 3, look after your body, mind, and soul. So if you were like me at the start of this journey, in fact, I was like this before it, I was a scrawny, skinny, unhealthy woman, not taking care of myself, not looking after me at all. And your beautiful masculine, both the higher and the physical version, we'll call them, they want to see you thriving. I remember when I was very first awakened, my masculine knew straight away that Kathleen was not taking care of herself. He knew, and I'm like, of course I do. I would get, no, I don't think so. I was not taking care of me at all. They instinctively know that they need to pull away. And I know we don't like it, but it's for your highest good. It's to help you come home to yourself. So one thing I want to get clear across here is your body needs to be able to hold this higher frequency that you will be shifting into. And when you are not looking after this body, it can't hold it. And so there's no way that my body was up to holding this frequency 3 years ago. I mean, I was fainting on the floor, smacking up arms, having surgeries, getting shingles, having skin issues. This is all through this Kundalini awakening. And I wasn't looking after myself, and I hadn't been for years and years. It wasn't a new thing. And this journey, you know, has really elevated me and made me really look at my own habits, my eating habits. I was always walking lots, but I wasn't strong. I wasn't fit, you know. So going, I now go to the gym. I fully look after myself. I feel like $1 million. I feel so much younger than what I ever have felt. And, I feel like I've had years shedded off me through this journey. So if you are still going through those heavy oscillations and that purification process and all that uncomfortable stuff, know that your Kundalini energy is working for you. You don't need to do anything. The Kundalini knows what it's got to do. It's an intelligent system. This is a process, and it is trying to cleanse and purify. And so it does feel like, your body can go through quite an unhealthy phase, but it is to bring you back into a better place. So just start really looking after yourself, looking at what you're eating, making sure you're putting in quality nutrients, food into your body. You're going to need it to hold this much higher frequency. Your body is going through a lot of shifts. You are going through an alchemical process. Do not underestimate what's going on for you. Making sure you're getting out of the mind. So important, because your mind creates your physical reality. Your mind, that ego structure, creates the physical separation. So it's really important, because it's seeing them as over there. When you get out of the mind, you can transcend all those crazy thoughts. You'll feel the masculine inside of you. You'll start to tune into your soul. When you're out in the physical world, feeding your mind full of content that's keeping you separate from yourself, from your soul, and you're not quietening that mind down, and you're just feeding it with content on where are they, you're sending an energetic message out that they are over there, but actually your twin is your soul. And so you've got to stop feeding that mind full of stuff that's not helpful. Psychic readings, tarot, none of that is going to help you on this journey. The only thing that's going to help you on this journey is tuning into your soul, coming in here, learning to meditate and get that mind under control. You know, I don't meditate today. I mean, I do every now and then, but nothing like I was. I mean, I was religiously meditating a couple of times a day, but I don't need to now. What I needed back then, I don't need today. I have a whole different system, different routine now. Making sure that you are giving yourself adequate rest as well. You need a lot of rest. You're going through some heavy energy, heavy density that's shifting out of you. And you do need to give yourself and honor yourself that space. I know it is challenging at times, but you do have to just, even if it's just intermittent breaks, you know, sometimes I just find I just need 15 minutes just to go lie on my bed, just to move through the energy, because you are learning to balance this higher frequency with your body and that mind, and they all need to come into harmony and work together. Whereas what's been playing out is the mind's been running the show, and now you need to bring these three things into balance so that they work in unison with each other, not one running the show. Right, that is number 3. So number 4, this is a biggie. Stop giving yourself breadcrumbs. If you are chasing your masculine energetically through what are they up to via social media, if you are constantly sending them messages, if you are trying to figure out when they're coming back, whatever it is that you are doing, you're giving yourself breadcrumbs, and that's why they're giving you breadcrumbs. They are showing you that you are not loving yourself, that you are not trusting the process, that you are not honoring yourself, and you're not focused on you. Now, I know it's an alien concept to focus on ourselves. We have been conditioned and programmed to be these self-pleasing puppets everywhere. But this journey brings you back home to yourself. It brings you back to your truth. And it's uncomfortable, right? I know for me, it was like, I've been spending my whole life looking after my family and whoever else around me. How do I look after myself? And that's why we end up pouring from an empty, dry old cup. And you've got to fill it up. And that means honoring the things that you love. Do the things that light you up. You know, it's really important to really honor who you truly are. Take space out, but just stop giving yourself breadcrumbs. Stop giving yourself to everybody first before you. This journey flips that on its head. Even if you've got young children, carve some space out, 15 minutes, whatever it takes, to just sit and just be. Just be. And do that every now and then throughout the day where you can, even 5 minutes. You know, to say you don't have time is an obstacle. It's an excuse that your mind has given you, because it's simply not true. You absolutely can find space to just center yourself, reground, just put your feet on the grass, anything that it takes, just to really bring yourself back to center and go, have I given myself any self-love today? And that can just be how you speak to yourself, how you talk about yourself. You know, we're so good at disempowering ourselves. So even if you've got a really, you know, full-on schedule, if you are running a young family, for an example, or teenagers, or whatever it is that's going on in your life, holding down jobs. I mean, I've been there, I've done all of this, right? But, you know, it's making sure that you are carving space out for you and honoring you, and that you are speaking beautifully about yourself, that you are standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am stunning. I'm so grateful for this journey because it's bringing me back to myself again. Stop giving yourself breadcrumbs, because your masculine is going to keep giving them to you while you give them to yourself, because they can only ever mirror you. You are in a spiritual connection, okay? Number 5, I've already touched on this slightly, but do what lights you up. What are the things that bring you joy? You know, what are the things that where you've really neglected yourself, and you've not been doing the things, you know, you've shoved them aside for your family, you've shoved them aside for friends, whatever the case might be. You're doing a job that simply just suffocates your soul. You know, this is a journey that's going to bring you back and make you question all the things that you're doing. You know, it's not easy leaving a job. I know that. You know, the fear-based energy keeps us programmed keeps us stuck in these places, which is just killing us. It's killing our soul every single day. We're going into jobs that are just sucking the life out of us. We're not meant to be there. And this journey is going to make you question all of it. And it's going to make you get very uncomfortable until you start making these changes. Because this journey is not about your human ego's needs. It is about your soul's expansion and growth. And your soul is going to keep making it uncomfortable until you make those big tough decisions. So really look at your job. Is this job feeding my soul? Does this light me up? And if not, then what can I do to change that? What can I do? And the fear's going to sneak in there and say, I can't afford to leave. But believe me, your soul's got your back. Your soul is here supporting you because it's trying to bring you into alignment. You know, when I left my job, I was crapping myself on that journey, but I did it. And I'm so grateful. I live a life in just peace now, and joy and love and alignment. And I didn't even know what that actually was until I got myself incredibly uncomfortable and made changes in my life because I wanted better for me. This journey is a gift. It truly is a gift. It is not about the relationship with your masculine. It is about the relationship with yourself. It's about honoring you, loving yourself, and remembering who the heck you are before you were taken down by all this fear-based energy in the physical world. You know, come back to that beautiful inner child and remember the creative soul that you were and you still are. It's still all in there, and it just wants to express itself in a different way now. So those are the 5 things that your actual masculine wants you to know. They want to see from you. This is the stuff that makes your energy magnetic, right? You are not magnetic. Well, you are. You're always magnetic, but it just depends what you're magnetizing in. Fear-based experiences or love and abundance. So when we're in this lower paradigm, this 3D frequency, this lower stuff, the fear, the lack, the scarcity that we don't even know we're programmed in, by the way. It's not until you start shifting that you resonate. But you will. If you're truly doing the work and you're truly on a twin flame journey, you will be transforming very quickly. And if you're choosing to go all in on your ascension and go, basically, I'm all in, I'm investing in, I'm doing this, then soul will guide you. But if you're going to come up with excuses and you're just going to stay stuck in all these lower frequencies and these shitty relationships and shitty jobs, then you're going to continue experiencing very uncomfortable places until you rise up out, until you make those bold moves. And your because those things, and while you're always very centered on your masculine as well, you're magnetizing in what you don't want to experience. When you're in the higher frequencies, your energy, your soul energy is very, very magnetic. You attract attention like there's no tomorrow, like it's incredible. You attract abundance, you attract in new opportunities, you attract in new friends, you attract in the masculine, you'll attract in soulmates, you'll attract the whole lot when you really start to take on board things like these 5 things that are going to help cultivate a healthy, beautiful magnetic field. That is what this is all about. This is about your masculine coming in, igniting your Shakti energy to get moving. And the Shiva energy then goes back to sleep. Okay, goes back to sleep. But then you start bringing in that Shiva energy back into you, more direction, more focus, so that your Shakti can create. You are here to shift paradigms, timelines, to shift into alignment. And it's your soul's journey, not your ego's journey. And that's what's so important for everyone to really resonate with, is it's about the soul's growth and expansion. Your masculine wants to see you thriving. The physical does as much as the higher masculine. Your physical masculine intuitively knows that you are not ready for this, that you need to go work on yourself, that you need to go focus on yourself. Mine definitely was. He knew I was not ready. He knew I was not ready, and I wasn't. And as much as my fear-based energy was clinging, I was not ready for anything other than just to get to know myself again. So that is where I would like to end that today. If you need some help and support and you really want to go all in, you can check out my resources. I've got lots of beautiful tools there to help. And I've got the membership. A lot of people ask, how can I work with you, but I don't have, I just can't afford a coaching session. Join the membership. It's $88 a month, and that's in New Zealand dollars. So it's very inexpensive, and you get a ton of support in that membership. I will put the link in the comments section. You can go check it out. It's a very, very supportive community. It is not on social media. You get group coaching. There's hours and hours and hours of content in there. You can private message me in there. And this is where I help support people where the masculines are coming in and help them balance that, that aspect of it. So anyway, that's just some of the stuff that I've got. But that is there are no, there's so much content out there now that there's no excuses to not really fully invest in yourself. And I don't even mean financially. I just mean get outside, walk on the grass, bring joy back into your life. Stop giving yourself these breadcrumbs. You deserve more. Anyway, as always, sending so much love.